Matthew 24:30 through 31 is 1 Thessalonians 4:15 through 17. However, pre-tribbers are spiritually obsessed with trying to convince you that Matthew 24:30 through 31 is set 7 years after 1 Thessalonians 4:15 through 17. The main reason that they do so is because in Matthew 24:29, Jesus Christ said, after the tribulation. When you realize that Matthew 24:31 references the rapture, the Matthew 24:29 phrase, after the tribulation, clearly shows you that the rapture will occur after the tribulation, the post-trib rapture, and pre-tribbers cannot stand it. Pre-tribbers try to make you think that Matthew 24:30 through 31 is completely different than 1 Thessalonians 4:15 through 17. So let's examine those two passages. Matthew 24:30, the Son of Man coming. 1 Thessalonians 4:15, the coming of the Lord. Obviously, Matthew 24:30 and 1 Thessalonians 4:15 are set at the coming of Christ. And look at Matthew 24:31 and 1 Thessalonians 4:16. Matthew 24:31 references a loud trumpet. 1 Thessalonians 4:16 references the sound of the trumpet of God. As anybody can see, Matthew 24:30 through 31 and 1 Thessalonians 4:15 through 17 are parallel passages. But pre-tribbers exploit the fact that those two passages are not verbatim, word for word passages. But the simple fact is, many parallel passages do contain some differing phraseology and some differing content. Revelation 14:16 references the post-trib rapture. However, Revelation 14:16 contains significantly different phraseology than Matthew 24:31 and 1 Thessalonians 4:17 contain. Revelation 14:16 reveals that Jesus Christ will use a sickle. Matthew 24:31, 1 Thessalonians 4:17, and Revelation 14:16 are parallel passages, but those three passages contain different phraseology. That is a simple fact, but pre-tribbers deceptively exploit that fact in their attempt to make you think that Matthew 24:30 through 31 and 1 Thessalonians 4:15 through 17 are not parallel passages. Another tactic that pre-tribbers use in their attempt to make you think that Matthew 24:30 through 31 is different than 1 Thessalonians 4:15 through 17 is to make you think that Matthew 24:31 does not reference Christians getting gathered from the surface of planet Earth. However, Mark 13:27, a parallel passage of Matthew 24:31, explicitly references Christians getting raptured from the surface of planet Earth. Matthew 24:31 explicitly references Christians getting raptured from one end of heaven to the other, and so pre-tribbers want you to think that the Matthew 24:31 gathering will not include any Christians on the surface of planet Earth. But pre-tribbers are thereby in direct heresy against Mark 13:27. And what is so fascinating here is that Matthew 24:31 does effectively reference, in part, Christians getting raptured from aircraft and spacecraft. All of the Christians that will be zooming through the atmosphere or outer space at the time of the post-trib rapture will get raptured from the heavens. See my video on that subject. But I will briefly discuss that subject matter here on this video. Matthew 24:31 can seem to reference exclusively the heavens, but You simply need to carefully meditate on Nehemiah chapter 1 and certain verses in Deuteronomy chapters 28 through 30. The phraseology in Nehemiah 1:9 can seem to reference people getting cast out into various abodes above the surface of planet Earth, up in heaven. But Nehemiah 1:9 and Matthew 24:31 reference people getting gathered from places on the surface of planet Earth. When pre-tribbers talk about heaven in Matthew 24:31, they don't want you to know about Nehemiah 1:9. They want you to think that the Matthew 24:31 gathering is exclusively a gathering from the heavens. And they want you to think that that is drastically different than 1 Thessalonians 4:17, which obviously references Christians getting raptured from the surface of planet Earth. And see in the description box below an explanation of certain verses in Deuteronomy chapters 28 through 30, and see all other information in the description box. Also, see any comments in any comment boxes that I might put below the description box.